every time I get to do this, it's just an absolute privilege. So much about peace, so much about freedom, so much about evolution. We don't need big actions. We need to make those big actions small actions.
If you can just stop and get focused on today.
Man, I'm so happy that Casey is vlogging again. It is interview launch day, my friends. I feel like I am finally making the moves I'm so scared of making. I just so know I need to do this kind of work after that. What's going on, guys? What is the day? 10th of September 2020. And I just want to remind, oh my God, that is too heavy. Shit. Self-awareness, baby. Honesty, humility. A few things. Number one, do something that's like way outside of your comfort zone. For me, I am working out for the first time in, I don't even know, 3 years in silence. That's a lie. Not silence. No music. I'm listening to an interview with none other than Ed fucking Milet. It's a beast. There's also one part where he was like ringing in my ear about doing an extra rep in life. I'm like, yes, this is a perfect time for me to apply the specific technique to fitness. It's great. That extra rep just matters when you feel like you should stop. Just keep going one extra time. Go a little bit past your identity and then keep leveling up that identity. Oh God, so good. But I just think it's so important to just try things that are, just disrupt yourself is basically what I mean. So today, I want to challenge you to disrupt yourself in some sort of way. In this workout, I'm also trying something new, which is overhead presses with dumbbells. I'm not sure I've ever done those. No, I haven't ever done those in my non-P90X 3 type of workouts. It's always been like, ever since I started lifting weights, it's been barbell up, not or seated dumbbell, but never standing dumbbell, shoulder presses or overhead presses, whatever the fuck you want to call them. It's good. Honestly, not very good at them. I'll have to figure out better ways of doing it, but it's still just so fulfilling to me on the inside to try something new that you, even if you think it's gonna fail, because it just grows you on the inside with your potential identity. You learn things even if it doesn't work. You learn things if it does work, and then you potentially get more data to apply something that could be better for your journey. But how do you know if you don't try? How do you know? Also, fuck. Trying. Also, fuck, my hair is so knotty. I've been trying to de-knot it, untangle it with my hands throughout this entire workout. And that's been a new experiment as well, because I never do this during a workout. It's just different. Try new things. I'm telling you, good things happen when you experiment. I'm also loving being quiet right now, man. I don't feel like talking a ton. I don't feel like sharing a ton. I'm trying a ton of new things right now. In the past 2 days, I've also had a nice energetic clearing and just transformation of a few beliefs and a few patterns and stuff like that, and I'm noticing myself moving in the right direction. And I also just want to get off camera now, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna give myself permission to do what I feel is right. So see you later. Goodbye. Just so much about peace. So much about peace, so much about freedom, so much about evolution. Feeling like a winner. Always feelings, always feelings. That's why I'm doing this exercise. In case it isn't clear what I'm doing a why exercise. I'm just going through my main desires and understanding why I actually want them. This exercise never gets old. It's absolutely incredible. Boys and girls, I am so fucking tired from doing that. It is 12:36 p.m. I think I started that at 9. Wow, the amount of clarity that just came from that exercise. If you're not familiar, that was called the why exercise. I list a goal or I list a why of why I want something, and then I just keep asking, why do I want this? Why do I want this? Why is this the case? Why is that the case? And eventually you just end up with some crazy deep clarity for yourself, for whatever the situation is. In my case, I realized how much I'm driven by freedom, how much I am driven by self-love, how much I am driven by wanting to look at myself in the mirror and feel and think a certain thought, that validation I crave. A big takeaway from today for sure as well was like, I noticed that I crave the feeling of this was all worth it. Never noticed that until today. All types of stuff like that, because when you ask enough why questions, you just start to uncover the real truths behind what you think are truths, but they're just the surface, if you will. So powerful exercise. If you haven't done that ever, you should definitely try it. And I've never done it for so long as I just did, and I just did it with a bunch of main topics / goals, specifically because I'm feeling blocked on entrepreneurship, and I wanted to understand like my whys, because if I can understand my whys, then I can better understand my motivation and then reverse engineer things accordingly. But it was just really paramount that I did this, because again, I need to control this type of challenge and not have it control me. So when I do something like this, I gain the knowledge so that I can take control again. That was another thing I noticed. Taking control and having control was another big motivator for me in many areas of life. With sex, definitely. With business, with all types of stuff. But I feel like less of business these days. But anyways, there's definitely something to do with sex there. That's for fucking sure. But yeah, what a powerful exercise. Just very clear to me that I also just need to level up, and why I need to level up, and all these types of things. So I'm gonna get off camera now. But wow, that was powerful. Very important moment today.
I think this advertising model is probably the most elegant way.
This is really good so far.
It sounds crazy to say we need to change all that, but that's what we need to do. You think we can get there? We have to.
What a great documentary. That actually just shook me to my core. So much to think about, so much to ponder. There's a lot of different points in there that are subconsciously rolling around in my mind right now. Powerful stuff. Had me hooked in the entire time. I thought it was gonna be fucking boring, honestly, but it ended up being fucking amazing. And I just got locked in for like an hour 40, wherever it is, an hour 34 actually. But yeah, Social Dilemma on Netflix, 2020 doc, fucking good, man. This is fucking cool right now, bro. This is fucking interesting. Oh, I actually have no idea how the fuck I'm actually gonna pull off doing a club kind of right from the get, but I shall figure it out. But that was just me defining like the benefits of the club and just trying to make it super worth people's money. That fucking matters to me, especially as I am quite frugal myself. So I also did some expanding on personal brand website versus Moxey Energetic versus the club. Had some confusion last night. Woke up this morning completely different. I was like, oh my god, it's so clear now that I will be using my brand, because I was originally like, yo, do I really want to set this up as I am the face? The answer is actually yes, I do want to be the face, of course, but I just don't need it. I don't want it to rely on me long term. So it's going to start off with me as the brand, of course, and then as time goes on, I'll just work my way into a position where I could completely leave and everything would still go on incredibly well. So that's important. So doing something like what Gary and Andy have done, but also things like what Dr. Sue Morter and Christian Michelson have done, where they end up not just focusing on the one-on-one clients, but more group type of sessions, group teachings, group healing, all that type of jazz. So that's important, as well as clearly defining now the Moxey Energetics versus the club and like how that works. Moxey Energetics at this point feels like it's going to be very focused on the holding the pre-existing products, the energy work sessions, as well as going into the one-on-one, the one-on-one as well as like a one-off, more so focused on the one-off stuff. And then also doing a ton of education on the energy work and giving away free gifts, samples, all types of stuff like that. And then the club is going to be like this reoccurring model where people just completely get bombarded by so much positivity, so much energetic support, a ton of sessions, a ton of one-on-one accountability, as well as like a group community, all these types of things. And I'm very excited for this. I have no idea how the fuck I'm actually gonna pull this off, but step by step, we shall get there. Feeling good right now. Life is good. Life is fucking good. Very important thing as well, I want to make sure that I am bridging the gap between spirituality and practicality. Like just making spirituality practical matters to me right now. And I also wrote down bridging the gap between spirituality and results, because those two things, man. There's so many people who have results but don't have a good spiritual situation, and there's also a ton of people who have awesome spirituality but they are just so off in the clouds that it doesn't, like, I want both. I want people to have the great lifestyle, the great results, as well as the great spiritual existence. That's what matters to me, and I think that's going to be a driving force for this club, the service, all the type of stuff, man. This is exciting. This is very exciting. Boom. Let's fucking go. Okay, that's my first fucking interview published. Oh, I'm excited. I know this is just the start of a lot of good things coming down with this content down the road. Again, so excited it was with Zack. This took so fucking long to do. Again, I feel like I'm always just giving updates about how we're getting closer on content. I'm getting almost caught up. It just works so well not recording, and we're getting there. Also, I'm like I'm decent as an interviewer to start, but holy fuck, as time goes on, I am committed to becoming an incredible interviewer and an incredible communicator. And this is just another step in my evolution with that. And I'm just so excited to give more people a chance. I mean, I don't have the views right now, so I'm not like giving them tons of exposure, but I'm giving people an opportunity to talk in a way they wouldn't normally talk and bring different insights out of them, and share those great perspectives with long-term a huge audience. But right now it's smaller in nature, and I'm building it up, and I'm very grateful for everyone who is paying attention right now. You guys are fucking gems. Feels nice. This is something I set for the beginning of the year for myself. I wanted to start doing interviews. This is just one of those pillars that have taken a while to come to fruition, mostly because of my slowness, but it's finally here, and I'm excited as fuck to launch this interview, which launches a long series of more people coming in my content and more perspectives and deep diving and all types of stuff, and just phenomenal conversations where I learn and you guys learn at the same time. So I'm excited as fuck to get this out. So yes, it is interview launch day, my friends. So we fucking did it. It's exciting. Bro, what a great fucking day. Number one, about to go on a Zoom call with my boy Ronald. I built him a system within Notion. I'm just gonna be ongoing working with him for free as I get started with Notion consulting, so that's exciting. I'm not sure if I want to head down that route 100%, but it's cool Notion nonetheless. I also tried out eating only pasta for an entire day, basically, except for bread. I had some bread earlier, but I tried out with like the normal pasta sauce, and then right now this is like soy type of thing, some oil on that as well. It's interesting, but just like random experiments I conduct. So today is, let's see what it's like only eating pasta basically all day. It's interesting. It is quite interesting. And then as for the Zack interview, I'm pleased with how this is going so far. Got some response on social, which I'm pleased about. I did have a lot more rankings when I first posted this, but maybe that's just because of the new type of thing. Yeah, we'll see as time goes on. I just really tried to SEO the fucking shit out of this, so I don't actually know what I'm doing. I'm just experimenting and falling on my face and just continuing to get back up. Also, I entered Jupiter today, and in Jupiter this period, which is a 52-day period if you're bought into astrology stuff, I like it for for just understanding what the fuck is going on sometimes. I have resistance to believing it 100%, but there is some truth, I think, to it. So with Jupiter, it's a very like growth inducing phase. So I'm really hoping that this period I use it for business and for content and for work and just growing the shit out of this aspect of my life. Also making money. I'm just like much more highly motivated right now. And I don't know if it's just today, yesterday. I started yesterday with this period, but it's just been like a very intense energy so far. So I'm pleased with it. I like channeling this shit. And I like getting shit done day by day. And not really just for the sake of getting shit done, but making sure I'm evolving and my life is expanding. I'm trying to change my identity right now. Heard that on Add My Lot Thursday, Friday, whatever the fuck it was, about identity and how you are where you are because of your identity. And I need to change my identity into the type of person who succeeds in business, the type of person who makes things happen in their entrepreneurial endeavors, their comes full circle on projects, whether they feel like it or not, and a bunch more as well of things in that type of realm. So trying to get better at that. I just need to evolve. So I am doing what I can to evolve right now and evolve my behaviors, evolve my mindsets, evolve my energy so I can evolve my results.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How you
Good.
doing?
I'm doing really good, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
By the way, I am fully aware this is probably like completely overlooked, but
Yeah.
this is going to be like something that you should watch again. And
Yeah.
the more you experiment, the more all of this will make sense.
I loved calling this Ron. However, I need to hold back on how much I'm sharing and figure out how I can share it in an effective manner, because I was just like, I just don't know how to start off teaching relational and the proper systems of Notion without just completely confusing people. It's so much to take in at once. I don't know where to start, because as soon as you start, you're immediately going to be connecting to other things that don't make sense yet, and I'm just like, fuck. Many times I'm like, I have no idea if this is actually landing. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but thank God the video, you can just go back and listen to it again. So I don't know what the fucking ideal route with this is. I don't know how the fuck you teach something so non-linear as this, but maybe there is some linear way that I'm just not paying attention to quite yet. But yeah, I'm at a good tired level right now. It's like 1 a.m. as I say this, and I can eat my hair. That's so funny. That's the case now. Fuck. It's just so nice putting in work and going to bed being like, fuck yeah, I moved forward today in basically every area. I could sleep, but I still have more to do. Fuck. So I gotta go do that. I am loving life right now. It is great. Life is good. Life is beautiful. Life is a gift. I am living my most authentic life more and more every single day. It makes me very fucking happy. Also, take a look at this bad boy. This is today's actions. I'm chugging away right here. I'm feeling very productive right now on the right things, and I feel very empowered by it. I love it so much. But most importantly, it's just amazing to know that like, yo, I love being in motion and I love tracking what I'm doing and making sure I'm working on the right things. And when this occurs, it is such an internal high. I love it. 2 bits. This feels amazing, especially just watching how this system is coming to life right now and just watching the different views populate, and like, it just feels so fucking good to build a system that is working, and then working the system for the right projects, the right areas in my life, the right priorities that need to get done. It's amazing. And you can have this too if you just pick the right system for you. I'm telling you, there is just something incredible about making a list and doing the list, but making sure that list is set up not just like a standard list, but making sure things are prioritized, things are scheduled, things are, that your time, your energy is all invested correctly. into the right things and reverse engineering all those things and making sure you're tracking those goals and tracking the progress. As I designed a KPI system today with like progress bars and the things that are fun and heavily inspired by Bulletproof 2.0, by the way, with that. And yeah, I'm pleased. I'm very pleased right now with a lot of things. Notion, my business progress, like I'm not amazing at it, but just like making a massive list with that too and getting very clear on like everything that needs to happen for me to launch my personal website. And then obviously the things I showed you the other day with the differences between the club, Moxey Energetics, and then my personal brand. And just like, I just feel so fucking blessed right now. And I'm evolving heavily at a spiritual level as well with things I'm going through with Dr. Sue Mortar. Oh my God, bro, she is such a fucking spiritual gangster. Oh my God. It's insane, absolutely insane. So evolving my soul, evolving my mind with obviously like podcasts and learning and stuff like that. And then taking the proper action steps and making systems to track those action steps and just making the practical steps right in front of me, just as simple as a checkbox. And not making things too big where I just don't do them, but just making them just small enough and just practical enough that it helps me build momentum, which makes me believe more in my vision and myself and all that types of stuff. And I'm just, oh my God, I'm so fucking excited. Life is beautiful. Life is fucking beautiful, bro. And it's not always perfect. Life goes up and down, but right now I am on a solid high, but it's a grounded high. It's a different way of looking at that. Also shout out coffee, also shout out focus and supplements for focus and water and all the things. Life is good. Goodbye.
Good night, Candace.
Man, I'm so happy that Casey is vlogging again. It gets me excited to try different styles and just the way he does his different angles. Like I'll show you right here. So many different shots with so many different angles. He's such an incredible creator. It just fires me the fuck up. Editing Josh here. Watch how significant this clip ends up being. From this point forward in my vlog, and I'm not just talking about this week, but basically every week in general from here on in, I just become so much more creative with the way I'm shooting my vlogs, and I find a way to make talking head videos much more interesting through the use of getting multiple angles, through thinking about the way I'm shooting a scene way more creatively. And it's the start of a lot of cool things that are coming. Thank you, Casey, for always being a huge inspiration to my videos. Oh boy, everything's a mess. Ugh. But gotta talk somehow. Let's find a way. Let's find a way. Bingo. Okay, so last time we talked, I was talking about how much I love Notion and stuff like that. Except since then, I've seen literally, there's been Upwork posts, there have been freelance posts about people doing Notion consulting work. And I'm like, I've never thought about Notion in a freelance type of setting, and I'm like, oh my God, I could do that. I could definitely do that and get some bills paid through that. Honestly, creative work in general, just like video editing and stuff like that, it's just, I'm not really feeling it currently. I'm very dialed into energy work and also Notion. I just love Notion, as you guys know. So as we speak right now, I am doing trial runs with my systems, with my friend Ron, my mom actually, and I'm about to hop on a call with someone I've never talked to on video. It's just a friend in the past year, met him through like Facebook, and he's all the way out in Africa actually. It's Larry. But I have talked about Larry in past vlogs. He's having some struggles with like he's an ambitious person, but he's just struggling to match the actions to the ambitions, and I completely relate to that because that's something I have gone through as well. And I'm just now figuring it out kind of with the systems, because you can have all the belief in the world, you can have all the mindset, the energy, all of the cloud level stuff, but if your actions are not mapped in a system that is reverse engineering those ambitions, those dreams, those big fucking objectives, then you're not gonna make them happen, I don't think. So unless you just have some crazy way that I don't know about yet, but almost every fucking single person who makes things happen has a system that is making them make things happen. It's very important. just gonna go on feel here and say that there's something to be said about Notion right now for me. I don't know if it's gonna be a main thing for me, but it definitely might be a nice side dish to make me some cash while I am still building up a portfolio with energy work and that type of jazz. So I'm excited though. I feel very just dialed in, aligned, and feeling powerful. I'm also in Jupiter right now, which is an astrology thing where it's like all about growth. I think I talked about this in the other. Jupiter is just about expansion and growth, and if I channel this energy into the right thing, it can lead me with a lot of progress after. So that is the case so far. I'm 3 or 4 days in, and I can absolutely feel like the change in motivation, the change in energy. It's just, I just feel like a powerful being right now, not from an ego place, but just like source type of power. It's really cool. It's really fucking cool. Also, something to be said about sitting at my desk to feel more powerful. So many times in the past, I don't know, 6 months, I would just be at my bed, and like usually my bed's made. I'm just washing and replacing and all that jazz with my bedding stuff right now. But I would sit in my bed and I would just work. And there was just something that was just fucking with me. Mental chatter / like a feeling in my body. It just wasn't great. I just wanted to get the fuck out of bed. I don't know if any of you have experienced this, but even though my desk is just really fucking messy right now, I just feel so much better, and I'm bouncing on this ball, and it's good for my back and like other stuff like that. And if I was to stand as well, that's another powerful thing to do. So I'm gonna head to that meeting now, but fuck. Life is fucking good, man. Life is fucking good.
Hey man, what's good?
How's it going? So good to finally talk to you. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. After I don't know, a long while. This is the first time we talked.
Seriously, I think we like digitally met back in, was it 2018 or something like that? It's been a minute to say the least.
Yeah, I think so.
Just because they have the action date of September 20. This is very important because when you start getting into the different ways of looking at this data, it's going to be fucking overwhelming if you're constantly in this master database of all of these tasks, right? It's like a big clusterfuck. So what you want to do is just, this is going to be this is what I showed you yesterday. This is going to be like the most valuable thing to you, I think, or aside from the reverse engineering. I mean, it is reverse engineering stuff. It is looking at 2 days action steps that are going to bring you closer to these projects, which again, bring you closer to these goals. Because it can be overwhelming sometimes. You have so much going on, right? But if you can just stop and get focused on today, it will, I think it's just a magical place to be. What I'm trying to do right now really is set up the essentials, and then from there, we can customize this to however you work. That is when the Notion gets so much fun. Because like for me, for example, as soon as I notice a challenge come up, I document the challenge and then I immediately start ideating on what I could introduce inside the system to try to make it work better for the way I specifically work, which is a powerful thing. And I will absolutely be there by your side to like work with you through that, because I want you to succeed. So whatever that's going to take in a system sense, I'm happy to help with, my friend.
Let's go. That was so much better than the way I helped Ron through his walkthrough. Oh my God. That was great though. I'm really pleased at how that came out. I also am pleased at how I took what is a very complex system and I made it as essential as possible. That was very important to me. I really focused on, I'll quickly show you. Goals, 4 fucking properties. In mine, I have about 12 projects, very minimal properties as well. Actions, boom. Again, so few of properties. And I, of course, showed him all the views, how things work. I tried to make things as linear as possible. Each time I get better, I feel really good. That was enjoyable. I really hope he uses it. He's a ton of potential, that guy. He's a great human as well from what I've seen. And I love this. It's a lot of fun for me. What's good? I am now on a duvet, so that's nice. But I wanted to quickly check in because I'm like reflecting my day real quick, and I'm like, what the fuck? Today might have been like one of the best days like in a very long time. And that's really because I checked a bunch of boxes in so many areas. I designed a Notion system. I progressed on my website. I socialized and had some good conversations. I had some realizations inside those conversations. I listened to some good content. I ate somewhat decent. It wasn't amazing, but I ate somewhat decent. I also opted not to do fries, even though I really wanted fries, so that was another good one. I progressed on some system stuff. I in terms of new systems, I listed out some new ideas without trying to suppress ideas as they came up, and so instead just like running through them real quick. Started on some projects and just got the ball rolling on that immediately. Did some pricing for potential freelance stuff. Had a realization that I could do freelance for Notion. Went through that walkthrough, built Larry that system, of course. Did that walkthrough, that went fucking sick. Progressed in my skill set, progressed in how I feel in terms of my like evolution type of thing. One of the biggest ones though is that I noticed that my two friends were both just going through different things that are like wasn't necessarily like them. So I was like, yo guys, I know you guys are both kind of spiritual to a degree. How spiritual are you actually? And I've only gotten one response from out of the two, but because the other one is off in his own world sometimes, just doing his thing. So he'll get to me when he has a second. But for the one, she's like, yeah, let's do this, let's try this. So I'm excited. I hope this goes really well. I also felt like I explained energy work way more succinctly than I have in the past, while also just hitting on the right things that is useful to their session experience without getting too bogged down in the details. So they're just a very progress-filled day, so that's why I'm on camera again talking about this shit. Also, I am a year out from being at Starbucks now. Crazy. Fucking insane, actually. Today was my second day on last year's calendar of Starbucks. So just seeing all those stories, and it's insane. I don't feel like that person at all, like right now. I feel so disconnected. I feel like I am finally making the moves I'm so scared of making. So that just doing that energy work reach out today was just, you have to understand, I really want to help people get results. I want to help my friends get results, and I also want to build up the confidence to reach out to people and be like, yo, I charge this much, and specifically like hundreds of dollars. That's like very important. These sessions bring that much value, if not infinitely more. Just depends on what you value for your type of finances and how much you value your soul's evolution, how much you value being unstuck, how much you value clarity, all types of variables. But to the right person, this is worth infinitely more than a couple hundred. So going back to that though, every time I have an opportunity to work with someone else externally and they might be a potential match, and then I could get a testimonial if they're willing to give one, but I'm not going to work with an attachment to testimonials. More like if it works for you and if you feel compelled to, testimonial would work great. So even doing that though has been like, I've been resistant to doing that. So it was just like, fuck, just another step of breaking through and also stepping things out and making sure that I am breaking things down into smaller and smaller goals, because my challenge in the past has been I'm trying to make these fucking projects, that's what they are, projects, too fucking big. And when they're too big, I'm not able to move forward because my next step feels like too big of an action. I was talking to mom today about just like big goals, and she's like, yeah, and then we need big actions. And I'm like, but that's the thing. We don't need big actions. We need to make those big actions small actions, because that's what they are if we step them out small enough.
even with Larry's, that I was getting him to step out every single part and even subparts of his creative process for generating a freestyle from start to finish. Like, there was just like little things that I was noticing in terms of him making a certain step 3 days or whatever. I'm like, no, man, I think you might want to figure out a way to step this out even smaller, because this is where things just start to get too like loosey-goosey, I guess. I don't know. For me, I just think that it's important that a task gets done in a single day. That's at least my current hot take on tasks. Anyways. But yeah, to go back to all this, I feel like I'm growing so much. I feel like Starbucks, real quick. Yeah, we didn't touch on that at all, actually. Just got sidetracked completely. The Starbucks, I am a completely different being. I feel like a completely different being than I did just 52 weeks ago, just 365 days ago. It's crazy to look back at who I was, how I've changed. I feel like I am much more... what's the word? It's not humble. It's just I have more humility. There's way more compassion. I feel like I am becoming a beast right now in productivity and systems and a lot of stuff, and I was just learning it back then. We're just getting started with Notion, that is. I still do system design and stuff like that, but again, a year, especially the way I spend my time, a year does a lot for a skill, specifically with Notion. What I just mean, I spend so much time, probably too much time in Notion realistically. It's crazy though. Crazy to think. There's so much more that I just, like, communication style, so much better. Swearing, I think a ton less. I might have sworn a lot on this, but it's subconscious at times, so I'm trying to get better. Of course, like, breaking through on one of my biggest fears in the past year, and that has felt amazing, and just continued climb, man, on so many things. My processes, my mindsets, my beliefs, my energy, most of all. My ability to handle stress is getting better. My self-love. There's just so many things. It's forever a journey. I'm not perfect at any of these things. Wasn't perfect then, not perfect now, never will be perfect. It's a journey filled with obstacles and challenges. Not even obstacles, more like stepping stones. Challenges that bring with it equal gifts and equal opportunities. Life is just fucking magical though. It really is. I just love who I'm becoming, how I'm showing up in the world right now. And I'm very grateful that I am learning so much, experiencing so much within what I physically can right now. As in, like, limited resources, but doing my best I can. And yeah, life is good. And life is good with a balance as well. Finding that ideal balance. And that's why today was so great. Oh, yes. Shout out to Source for guiding me back in that direction, because I was trying to figure out where the thought was. It was actually me figuring out. It was more like, yo, Source, I kind of forget what I was saying. Guide me back, and it did. But yeah, life is super about balance and checking the boxes that need to be checked, not just for the sake of checking them, but just, hey, if I want this, and if I'm like needing to fill my cup up with this type of task, this type of area, etc., it's important that you do that. It's all about like creating these days every day forever, because this day added up, 7 days becomes a week, this week at times 4 becomes a month basically, and then this month times 12 becomes a year, that year repeated a decade, etc., and then eventually just becomes my life. So it's very important that you define your ideal day because of this, or else
you end up with a day you don't like, and a week you don't like, a month you don't like, a year you don't like, a decade you don't like, and it ends up just being a wasted life that you just didn't like. So live purposefully, live with love, and I am signing off, my friends. Much love. I'm in a very, very peaceful state today after a very, very rough morning. Sometimes it takes those rough mornings to get you to do a session on yourself. And then surrendered really, really well after that though. And now I'm performing a session on, and I'm excited. And I did some of my pre-session stuff right there where I sent her a few voice notes, just giving her some expectation of what to expect, and like, boy, I have to figure out a better system for that. But we're trying out here, we're experimenting, we are in motion. That feels nice. Also setting up Eternal Ohm stuff. Fuck yeah, it just came in as I said that. So I'm gonna listen to that. And that's all I can play because of copyright. What an amazing sound though. Very, very high frequency as well. So pairing that with the water, with the session, usually does wonders. But yeah, I'm excited, she's excited. This is a very exciting time for me as I step into this with imperfection at its core, because I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm trying. I am trying, and that is the win right there. That is the win. Jesus Christ though, I'm so grateful for how peaceful I am right now. This is insane. This is what life's all about right here. Peace, high frequencies, and just blissing out. Life is beautiful. Keep telling myself that. Because it's true. It is true. I gotta turn this off now. Goodbye. Very, very blissful. What a cool session, man. Wow. I just so know I need to do this kind of work after that. I obviously think this all the time, but that was awesome. That was really fucking cool. I'm so excited to hear her experience of that, because that felt super fucking cool. I can also know when things are really deep, because I'll get like chills, and I'll get a sense of, I can feel that something released. Oh, so amazing. So amazing. I just feel like privileged to be able to help beings like this. It's very fucking cool. Every time I get to do this, it's just an absolute privilege. It's so cool. I'm also getting a lot more like self-accepting around all this. Like, so much has been released around making mistakes and the self-judgment that occurs when I make mistakes, and just honoring more and more the imperfection of life. Because it's very easy to knock yourself out of flow if you judge yourself every time a silly mishap occurs. Like, I had plenty during that session, but I was laughing, I was having fun. Yeah, what a great time. I'm so amped to hear what she has to say about this. And I really, really hope this session landed very deeply, because it felt like it was a fucking deep session. It's really just exciting because there was a lot of things that I worked on within that session that I experienced in my first source energy medicine session way back in 2015. So that was really cool. Really, really cool. And I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but specifically one of the things was overwhelm with all the tasks and all of the craze that goes on with that, with entrepreneurship. Kind of just like this, yeah, just there's like just a lack of balance, and the judgment from lack of balance and all types of stuff like that. But that is sometimes part of the beginning stages of, I mean, not big, you can be a crazy successful entrepreneur and have all those things, but it's all about happiness. It's about doing business and winning in life in a mindful manner. Because what's the point if you have everything in the world but you have nothing in the world?
if you have no happiness, you still have nothing. So yeah, so that was another reason why it was so cool, because it just reminded me of like my former self and my session years ago, back in 5 years ago now. Crazy. And then I'm just like, I wonder what that was like on Steven's side of things, because he was the one who did the session for me back then. And it makes me curious. I'm like, what did he do versus what I did? And it's cool, man. It's really fucking cool. Dear Source, help me do more of this. Help me serve all day long like this. I just want more impact. I want to do this more often. That would bring me so much peace, so much joy, having this level of high vibrations all day, having this level of impact, building a business around this. Wow. I can do this. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate.